Hello again. So we'll do part 3 of magic and the occult and all that stuff. So there's a few more things that I don't know how to tie it all together. I don't know how to title this series because we're talking about so many different things, but I'm trying to tie them together. So another aspect of the Aryan influence, besides writing the Vedas and delivering agriculture and, Iran being named after being a name for Aryan. The Zoroastrians, like I said, the Magi were the three wise men in the Bible were Magi. They were Persian priests, right? And so those Persian priests are it's an Aryan belief system, and I'm learning more and more about all this Aryanism stuff. But I mean, I've known about a lot of different aspects of the occult, and a lot of the characters in these different mythologies go back Egypt and before Egypt, like the Egyptian Thoth, who's the same character as Hermes, is said to be an Atlantean, right? So it's from the previous age, Atlantis and before, or whatever, ancient knowledge passed on. And so part of the Aryan thing is it ties into the Atlantis thing somehow, and I don't know all about this, but the Atlanteans, at least Hitler's perspective was that the Atlanteans were an Aryan race, and to get back to that perfect society and before the flood and all that, he needed to keep from diluting the Aryan race and get rid of, he was in eugenics. He wanted to create the perfect race, this Aryan race. But it goes back to a lot of this occultic stuff. And there's there's a million ways to look at all this occult stuff. Everybody's just like any religion. There's a million viewpoints. But this Aryan thing, it connects, like it comes from the Caucasus Mountains, which is it's where India meets Russia. There's a mountains, and then there's a flat, I think they call it the steppes or something like that. But this is the region where these Aryans come from. Well, this happens to, coincidentally, I don't know if I did a video on Rh negative, but Rh negative blood and this trend of redheads seems to tie into that. But like Muhammad of the received the word from God about the Islamic religion, Muhammad, he was said to be a redhead. And in fact, a lot of the mosques have some of his red hairs. That's like one of their cherished little, keepsakes or whatever. They're, what do you call it? Anyway. So, and a lot of the Hindu gods, in our religion, in Egypt too, a lot of pharaohs were depicted as being redheads. So this red hair and blue eyes thing seems to tie to the Aryan thing, and somehow I think the Rh negative might be connected there. I know I'm going all over the place with stuff that you maybe never even heard of. I'll talk about Rh negative later. Different video. So, but all of these regions all have a belief system that goes to magic, right? Now, this magic, harnessing energies, the use of magic, like I said, a lot of it has to do with cosmology and astronomy, because there is an energy, there's a frequency to the universe, there's a harmony to the motion of the galaxy, harmony to the planets, of the circles of the planets. Everything has to do with frequency. All is number. All is... So different positions of the planets affect... there's... Oh boy. I was going to talk about toroids fields and electromagnetism, but we don't have time for all that. But the positions of the planets and the motion of the planets affect the energetic nature of the universe, right? So it's a melding of different frequencies that create harmonies and resonance, and those things change as the planets move, and so the energies change. And that's also true with the moon, like the way the moon affects the tides here on Earth. Um, there's a pole to it. It has an energy of its own. The way that menstrual cycles. The word comes from moon. It's a moon cycle, the menstrual thing, and women's cycles are in a lunar cycle, which is a 28 period cycle, and women will sync up, and these energies are real. I mean, that's just one little example, but harnessing energy, magic is nothing more than harnessing energy. And I heard somebody say that magic is nothing more than technology that we don't yet understand. If you had taken this cell phone, back a few hundred years and showed it to somebody, I'd be considered a wizard. This crazy magic thing that I have. So there's a lot more things that we don't understand that we can consider magic, and that's a weird thing to define. But harnessing energies, right? That's the thing. So energies of the planets. Let me give you a little example. Look, all of our, not all, but a good chunk of our founding fathers were Freemasons, and the occult was part of the development of the nation, and we don't realize all of the things that are based on Masonic beliefs or occultic beliefs that we just don't have a clue about. Like, one thing is harnessing energies. We want things to be on a certain date. Like Christmas is on the winter solstice. The solstices and equinoxes represent energetic peaks of the cycle of the year, right? So we have the longest daytime, longest nighttime, or the equilibrium between them. And now the cycle of the moon in conjunction with those things is important. A new moon has different energies than a waning moon. Waxing and waning, I mix those up. But like the signing of the Declaration of Independence, it was actually signed. Well, it was signed on numerous occasions throughout August and July, but it was finished on July 2nd. But we celebrate on July 4th. Now, the reason for that, some little trivia that very few people know about. Our orbit around the sun is not perfectly centered, right? It's an oblique orbit that we have. There's a point where we're closest to the sun, and there's a point where we're furthest to the sun. Well, that point when we're closest to the sun is it December 4th? How that works? December 4th, and that's called the perihelion. And then the opposite of that is July 4th. It's the aphelion. That's when we're furthest from the sun, the aphelion. And so we derive our energy from the sun, right? So when we're furthest from the sun, we are most independent of the sun's energy. So the 4th of July is our day of energetic, cosmically speaking, energetic independence from the sun. So Independence Day, the declaration of our independence from the British realm, is actually independence from the energy of the sun. Everything is based on cosmology. Halloween is a season of death and all that, and it gets all scary all over the world. People recognize this because we pass through in end of October, early November, we pass through the Taurid meteor stream, which is thought to have brought on the end of the last ice age at the Younger Dryas. We caught one of those meteors, and it hit the North Atlantic ice shelf and caused all the flooding and blah blah blah. But we pass through every year. End of October, beginning of November, we pass through this meteor stream. and there's a lot of fire in the sky. There's all these meteors, heavy meteor activity that we can see, which is over by the constellation of Taurus, which is called the Taurid meteor stream. And I'm already at 10 minutes, and I haven't even gotten started in this stuff. Holy crap. So, and Christmas, like I said, is the winter solstice. Everything is based on our position in the cosmos. All of our holidays, all of our important days, when we sign big documents, if you look throughout history when treaties were signed, it will align with either dates of numerology or cosmological positions, what the cycle the moon was in, or what planet was prevalent at that time. But this magic it's everywhere. It's everything. It's trippy.